Hi guys, right, I have given you lots of tips on cold calling, but it seems there's a lot of people making calls on video right now, which is quite understandable, perfectly understandable. It's an absolutely fantastic way of getting in touch with people, a great way of having conversations. So I thought I'd put some very simple tips out on how to sell effectively on video. And the first tip for you is prepare for it. Now, just like any meeting, make sure that you have prepared a really clear objective, and then make sure you do put it across in conversation to the person that you're speaking to. So, hey Mr. or hey Ms. or whoever it is, hey, thank you so much for your time. Just wanted to have a discussion with you and see if we can get to da-da-da-da-da. So something along those lines, and it's really good to put that across. Now, remember, just because you haven't had to travel to this meeting, it actually doesn't make it less valuable or less of an opportunity. In fact, it's more of an opportunity. It's a greater value opportunity, more effective, more cost effective, and a great way of getting all the information that you need. Lots of people are having their first calls over video rather than on phone, and there's nothing wrong with that so long as you are still aiming to do what I always advise to do on a call, and that is to make sure you qualify the opportunity, understand where it'll fit into your pipeline, know what the potential value is for it. So still prepare your questions, still do all of that preparation that you would normally do for a call. In terms of preparation, also make yourself familiar with the platform that you're using. It's so easy to get into a situation where you're on there, you're waiting, but they can't hear you. So make sure your videos are working, your actual picture video is working, your visuals. Make sure your audio is working with the type of equipment that you've decided to use. Also, just get familiar with sharing screens and stuff like that, the technology of the platform that you're using, because you really don't want to be caught out where you then do start to fumble a little bit and look unprepared. All right, so number one, be prepared. Number two, schedule transition time. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, so anyone who normally travels between meetings will know what I mean. Basically, when you move from one meeting to another, you do have time in your car, on foot, on the train, or whatever it is, from one office to another, just to kind of download what you've just been absorbing in the last meeting. And then it gives you that time to recharge and get ready for the next one. This is what I call really crucial transition time, allowing you to either download the notes, so it could be that you are literally physically downloading notes, you could be confirming actions, but you're then giving yourself enough time to get to the next one as well, to the next meeting as well. And I think it's really important that in the same way as you do that physically when we're not on lockdown, you ought to be doing it when you are working from home. You really almost need to have, or maybe pretend, that you have to travel to the next meeting and schedule in that travel time. Then use that travel time to get up, stretch, walk around, or even meditate, just while you absorb what's happened, and then move your thoughts to the next meeting, get yourself mentally prepared. I think this is really important for both, for the well-being of both your mind and your body, and I think it will really, really make you more productive throughout the day. If you don't do this, I think you might find that you start to burn out quicker working from home. Meeting after meeting after meeting can totally burn you out. So my tip number two is schedule transition time for yourself. All right. Number three, learn the pattern of behavior. So by that, I mean learn the pattern of behavior that your prospect uses. On video, they might be just slightly different to what they would be face to face. So they might speak in shorter sentences, much shorter than you're used to. So you have to quickly adapt to acknowledging that sooner and then responding accordingly, and mirror it, or you will end up taking up all the airtime, which we've spoken about before. That's not what professional salespeople do. All right, use questions which open them up a little bit more. So the hows and the tell me's and the explain to me's, rather than the would and the if and the have you got, and the closed questions that we know. Very quickly, open question funnel. If you don't know it, give me a shout, I'll talk you through it. But yeah, look for behavioral patterns, such as a person might look straight at you when they have finished. So sometimes I do that. I sort of say what I'm going to say and then look at the person, and I tend to just sort of nod a little bit enthusiastically, as if to say, right, okay, your turn, you go. So there are very, very subtle sometimes patterns of behavior that you can pick up on, and the reason that I'm saying that is because you really don't want to get stuck in a situation where you're talking over each other. On that same note, you may find that you're getting a few more seconds of silence on a video when you do finish talking. That is just a slight delay in connection, as you're probably all used to by now, but you know, again, just respect it, let it happen, because what you don't want to do is try and fill those gaps. If you try to fill those gaps, the likelihood is, again, you are going to start to talk over, and you're going to end up taking up all the airtime and not letting the other person speak. So just learn pattern behavior, understand, pick up quickly how they behave on a video call, mirror it so you both get equal airtime, and if anything, I would edge towards saying give them more airtime than you have yourself, because as a salesperson, you should be doing more listening than anything else. So that is my number 3 tip, learn pattern behavior. Number 4, make relevant notes. Just because you're on a video, it doesn't mean that your trusted sales notepad should be lost. Make notes like you would if you were in an office with the other person. I mean, I am personally a really huge fan of taking notes, because I know sometimes when you go away, you kind of look back and think, oh God, what did they say about? Especially if you've got lots of meetings in the day, and you know, regardless of transition time, you might find that you still have to look back on some of these meetings the next day and reflect on what was said. If your notes weren't clear enough and your notes weren't good, then the only person you're cheating is yourself, really. So don't worry about making those notes, and make them relevant. Okay, the only way to do that is by think about what's going to be important to you for the next time that you speak to them. All right, anything you think you'll find useful for your relationship on a personal level and your partnership on a business level, anything that could help you to pick up where you left off last time, and anything that will help you to create your next objective and your next reason for calling them. These are important notes to make. So understand what a relevant note is for you and use that. Okay, so that was number 4, keep making notes. Number 5 is close where you can. If you are on a video call and there is no need then to meet face to face afterwards, then don't delay the close. It's so easy to end a video call with something like, so let's meet up and finalize this. But think to yourself, do you really need to, or can you just close it now and see them on delivery instead? You know, make sure you know what the next steps are as well to confirm your agreement digitally, and be ready to do that. You should have all the paperwork ready digitally, everything filled out and ready for them to just sign and send back to you. If you do it while you're on the call, you might even get that agreement straight back to you there and then, before you have to wait for it and chase it. It's always the best way. If you are going to chase it, remember, make sure that you agree a time to chase it. So if you have terms and conditions, talk them through if you can, in a casual fashion, not in a robotic fashion, but know them. It's important that you do know your terms and conditions so you can put them across. Know what's valuable to them, and be prepared to negotiate if you need to. Remember, always be prepared to negotiate right from day one. You really do need to be gathering all those variables and valuables so that when it comes to this point, you are able to offset any issues that they have with the value that you can add. Okay, so my 5 top tips in summary again. Number 1, be prepared. Really important to make sure every aspect of what you're going to do is being prepared. This is a valuable opportunity. Number 2, schedule transition time. Transition time, really important for your well-being, mind and body. Number 3, make sure that you learn pattern behavior, understand how the other person is behaving so that you don't end up talking over each other. Number 4, make sure you do make notes. It's important to make notes because you don't want to then end up forgetting what you have to come back to at your next meeting. And number 5, close it there and then if you can. There's no need to delay if you don't need to delay. All right, I hope these little tips have helped. Give me a shout, give me a call. Please keep watching. Thank you for watching. first of all, and if you've subscribed, thank you very much. It means a lot when I get these lovely messages saying that these have been really helpful, and it's very encouraging because it actually motivates me to write more and more stuff and want to record more and more videos for you. And I am available. It's Shea, S-H-E-A, at wisemeup.co.uk. Give me a shout. If you want a video call with me, I'm more than happy to have a video call with you and just talk through any challenges that you might be having right now. Okay, happy selling. Stay safe.